Hi guys! So this week's theme is to tell a scary story. And it can be anything scary that has happened to you, like spooky ghost encounter, or scary person encounter, or something you saw on a show or a movie, or something you googled. I don't really care, just make it spoopy. You know? Have fun with it. Or it can be funny and have a comedic relief ending, and then, we can laugh at you and not be afraid to go to sleep. I like either one. Okay, so my spoopy story is one that me and Avery's friend told to us when we were at a bonfire with her, and this happened to one of her family members, I think, and I don't remember their name. For story's sake, I'm going to name them Daisy and Violet. Daisy and Violet are staying at Daisy's aunt and uncle's house in Southern California, and they live in this huge, really nice house, mansion-esque style, okay? And they're in a neighborhood. It's one of those upscale neighborhoods where the houses aren't very close together. They have a lot of land and stuff. There are neighbors, but they're not really close. And it's about dusk, and Daisy's aunt and uncle go out to dinner or party, and so they leave the girls at the house just to hang out for the night. They said they'd be back later. So there's this landing in the house, and it's just kind of this area, this empty kind of hall area, and there's big windows, sliding glass doors, and a big archway, and the girls are in that area. And so they're playing ball with each other. They're just bouncing a ball back and forth between each other because that's what 14-year-olds do for fun. Duh. Daisy's back is facing the archway, and Violet is facing the archway. And they're bouncing back and forth to each other, and all of a sudden Violet stops. And she's like, oh my god, shit. And she gets totally paralyzed with fear. And Daisy turns around, and they see this man who's dressed in a black suit, and he's really tall, picture Slender Man-ish, okay? His face is painted white, which is why we call this the mime story, because he wasn't a French mime or anything. That would probably make it less scary if he was miming, stabbing them. That wouldn't be as scary. So they see this man, and he's peeking around the archway, like this. He's but he's probably not making that face. He's probably just I don't know. It's not that scary when I do it, because I'm not very scary. But if I was a man and tall and had white face paint and looked like I was gonna kill you, you would be scared. So yeah, they see this dude and they're like, shit, oh my god, that's scary. So they start booking it through the house, right? To get to their room or whatever, because they don't know where to go, and they're running from him. And they can hear him chasing them through the house, and they're freaking out. And one of the girls turns around and she sees that he has this huge knife with him, a huge knife. And he's chasing them with it, and they're freaking out, they're so scared. So they finally get into Daisy's room, and okay, we just have to go out the window, I guess. So they're trying to open the window, and the window is stuck, and they're trying to open it, and they can hear him fumbling with the door, and finally he breaks through just as they get the window to push up, and so they scramble out the window, and the man is still chasing them. He goes out right after them, and they're running across the land, this huge field, they're booking across it to the neighbor's house, they can't breathe, they're screaming and they're crying, and they're just trying to get there, and this man is chasing them, and they can hear him getting closer and closer, and they finally they rush up to the neighbor's house and are pounding on the door screaming, and the neighbors open the door, and the guy isn't there. He's gone. He's not behind them anymore. And they tell him the whole story, and the aunt and uncle come home, and they call the police, and the police search the house, and they don't find the guy. They don't know where he went. And the next day in the news they hear that in the land nearby a ton of cattle, like cows and horses, have been stabbed to death, like slaughtered. And that's the last they heard of it. So, yeah. Don't mess with the mimes. That's all. Emily, I will see you tomorrow. I love you dearly. And yeah, I can't wait to hear your guys' scary stories. Love you guys. Don't have nightmares. I hope you didn't watch this before you went to sleep. Don't look out your window. Love you. Bye.